You're military moving to Wesley Chapel and you are struggling to figure out what school to send your kids to. Maybe you're experiencing confusion on school ratings or district boundaries, and you want to ensure your children thrive in a safe and supportive academic environment. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to research schools with school zones, what the map looks like, extracurricular programs, and academic programs that might fit your family's needs. So you can experience a peace of mind, a smooth relocation, and a full understanding of what is to come when looking for school districts in the Wesley Chapel area. Welcome back to the channel where we connect families to live like locals in the Tampa Bay area. My name's Sydney. Let's get started. Okay, let's start with understanding school district boundaries. When moving to the Wesley Chapel area, you're going to want to pull up the district school maps. What's cool about that is that you can then bring up the neighborhoods on the school district map and you can see what homes are located in that school district if school districts are important to you. It's really important to look at the district map when you're looking for housing because you could live a quarter of a mile away from the school and you're not zoned for that school. So for my clients, what I typically do is if they're looking for a certain school district, what we'll do is we'll overlay the school zone map over the neighborhood or the homes that they're looking for. As a military family coming into the Wesley Chapel area, you have the availability to be put on lists for the charter school. It's called School of Choice. It means that you can put your kid into a different school than what you're zoned for. However, you are not guaranteed that school or that school district with School of Choice. It's a lottery. Military families typically get bumped up in the lottery. That's just how it is here in the Wesley Chapel area. So for instance, my kids go to a charter school and it's a 3-year wait. However, we put in the application and we were in within like 2 weeks. That's not everyone's case. However, you do have a higher pull as an active duty military family. Now let's talk about researching the school's ratings and reviews. There are tons of great resources out there for you to check out and look at the different test scores, the reviews left from parents, even like middle school and high school, you'll start to see student reviews. There is so much more than just the ratings on like greatschools.org or the government sites or the county sites that talk about the schools. As a parent here in the Wesley Chapel area and we are looking for, say we're going to look for high schools for my oldest, we plan to go to sports games and see how the coaches and families are. We plan to go to the theater and the plays to see what kind of extracurricular activities they do, almost like you're recruiting or you're looking, you know, how people go on trips to look at different colleges for their college kids. That's kind of what we do as a military family looking for schools if we are not going to go to the schools that our kids are zoned for. When we first got to the Wesley Chapel area, we went to a public school and I did not like how things were being done. Not a big deal. Everyone has their own scenarios. However, if I would have done my research a little bit more and looked at reviews left by parents, I probably would have seen some of the same things that we encountered. I encourage you to look at reviews from the parents, from other teachers. I would look at their Facebook websites. I would look at their social media. I would go to their school websites. I would definitely research and I would reach out to those program directors and ask them how that program is doing and ask them, basically interviewing them. I think that it's important to have a good understanding on what school your kiddo is going to. Another important thing to consider is commute time. So if you school of choice your kid to an outside zoned school or a trade school or a charter school, they do not do pick up and drop off. You are responsible for getting your kid there and getting them home. I would also look into what time the schools start because they change yearly based on bus routes and bus drivers here in the Florida area. And so you want to make sure that, you know, elementary school here in our specific neighborhood starts at 10 a.m. So if you have work at 8 a.m., you know, you have 2 hours of figuring out what to do with your kiddo before they either get on the bus or you drop them off. And same goes for when they get out of school at 4 or 4:30. You have to decide what you're going to do about bus and commute times. It's kind of interesting because a lot of the schools here, everyone uses golf carts. If you're within like the school zone range, instead of sitting in the line of traffic with your vehicle, they use their golf carts, and it's kind of an interesting thing. When we moved here 3 years ago, I was shocked about just the amount of golf carts that people drive to drop off and pick up their kids from school. Make sure you focus on your child's needs. I want to encourage you to prioritize looking at what is important to your child. You know, if you have EFMP, if you have IEPs, 501 plans, all of those items, I would make sure that you do your due diligence and see what programs support your child and their success of being a student. I would also, really look at how they handle new kids coming into school. I'm a huge advocate for making sure to know where are they sitting in the classroom the first week, what are the teachers and staff doing to include your new kiddo into school, because a lot of times military kids come in the middle of the school year, towards the end of the school year, or beginning of the school year as new kids. And I think that it's really important that you let the teachers and staff know, are they sitting alone at lunch? Are they sitting next to the teacher during class? Are they being included? I would definitely draw awareness and just make sure that your kid is supported and encouraged within school, because it is very hard when our military kids, they're resilient. However, it is hard for them to continuously move. And so how do we make sure that they're not being bullied, left alone, or, not included in things? So I just encourage you to continue to look at how that school would support your child. I highly recommend you visit schools in person. Yes, it's tough when you're moving from out of state and maybe you're relocating, but you get some TLE time in between for house hunting. I would use that time to also look at schools, make appointments, show up at the schools. I would walk the campuses. I would definitely peek into classrooms, see if you can have lunch in the cafeteria or the outside area where they allow. I am a huge advocate for being able to see how the teachers interact with the students, how families interact with the students. I would 100% make sure that you have some time in your house hunting to visit the schools that are important to you and your kids. Speaking of choosing the perfect neighborhood here in Wesley Chapel, I have created a free neighborhood guide specifically for military families. It covers this topic in way more detail, along with other important considerations for your upcoming move. I've put a link to the guide in the description box below. It's there if you'd like to check it out. Make sure you talk to other military families. When you get orders here, you know what unit or attachment your significant other and spouse is going to. So reach out to those families. There's spouse Facebook groups, there's all sorts of other areas of communication that you can reach out and find out what military families think of certain schools or certain school districts, or where they recommend checking out. Check for military friendly policies. See what the school offers. Do they support extra support for military kids? Do they have luncheons for military kids? Do they have support that they need when their mom or dad is gone or away, or the transition into and out of school? Make sure you know what policies that will support your military kiddo. Plan for long-term needs. So yes, maybe you have an elementary school that is highly rated and is super exciting. However, your kiddo is in 4th grade and you're going to be here through middle school. You should also be looking at what middle school and high school are zoned for. And that, because it's a feeder, you might be able to school of choice for middle school, but it's not guaranteed. Make sure when you're looking at an amazing elementary school that has high ratings and you buy or rent in that school zone, make sure you know what the middle school and the high school is zoned for as well. Say you have a 4th grader and they're going to go in, before you leave, they'll already be in middle school. You want to make sure that it's also highly rated. Yes, you might be able to school of choice. Yes, you may be able to go private school, but if those aren't guaranteed all the time. So make sure you know your long-term plans with your kids' education. Which reminds me, make sure to watch this video next, where I go deeper into more information and strategies on buying your first home in the Tampa Bay area. Click on the video on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.